What if everything you believed about success on social media was wrong? What if it's not about going viral overnight, not about millions of followers, and not even about being everywhere at once, but about something far less exciting and way more powerful? Because right now, one creator has just proven that showing up consistently can beat all of that, and her name is Shari. What she just achieved in 2025 is making people rethink how digital success really works. And trust me, this story goes deeper than it looks. So here's what happened. Shari has officially been named TikTok Live Creator of the Year 2025 in the Beauty and Personal Care category. On the surface, it sounds like just another award, right? Something you might scroll past without thinking twice. But this one is different because it didn't come from drama, headlines, or a viral moment that exploded overnight. It came from something much quieter, something most people don't even notice while it's happening. It came from consistency. And here's where it gets interesting. Most people assume awards like this are based on popularity, followers, views, or how many times your content pops up on someone's feed. But that's not how this one works. This recognition is based on real data collected over an entire year on TikTok Live. We're talking about how often she showed up, how many people joined her sessions, how long they stayed, and how deeply they interacted. In other words, it wasn't about how many people clicked, it was about how many people stayed. And that one difference changes everything. While many creators focus on chasing trends, posting when it's convenient, or disappearing when things slow down, Melody did the opposite. She kept showing up, again and again. Live sessions weren't just content for her, they became a routine, almost like a daily connection point with her audience. And over time, something started to happen. People didn't just watch her, they returned, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. That's a level of engagement that can't be faked and definitely can't be built overnight. What made her content different wasn't just the beauty tips or product discussions, it was the way she blended everything together. One moment, she could be talking about skincare, the next, she's having a real conversation about everyday life, answering questions, or just interacting naturally with her viewers. There was no heavy editing, no over-polished delivery, no trying too hard to look perfect. And ironically, that's exactly what made it work. People connected with her because she felt real, not like a performance, but like a person. But here's the part most people miss. This wasn't exciting in the beginning. There were probably streams with fewer viewers, moments that didn't feel like progress, days where nothing big happened, and yet she kept going. That's the part of success nobody talks about, the long, quiet phase where nothing seems to be working until suddenly it is. When Melody reacted to winning the award, her response said a lot. She didn't treat it like a solo victory. Instead, she made it clear that this achievement belonged to her audience as much as it did to her. And that's not just something creators say. It actually reflected the journey she built, because her fans weren't just passive viewers, they were active participants. They showed up, engaged, commented, stayed longer, and supported her consistently. That kind of connection creates something powerful, a community, not just an audience. And this is where her story becomes bigger than just one person. What Shari achieved reflects a major shift happening across social media. For years, success was defined by viral moments, quick spikes of attention that came and went just as fast. But now, platforms are evolving. They're starting to reward creators who build long-term engagement instead of short-term hype. And that means consistency is becoming more valuable than virality. Melody didn't just win an award, she proved that this new model actually works.
Now all eyes are on what comes next, because moments like this often open doors that go far beyond one platform. With this level of recognition, there's a strong chance she could expand into brand partnerships, collaborations with other creators, or even build a larger presence across different types of content. And the interesting part is, she's already hinted that bigger opportunities are on the way. So this win might not be the peak of her career, it might just be the beginning of something much bigger. But success at this level also brings a new kind of challenge. More attention means more expectations. Fans want more content, brands want collaborations, and the pressure to keep growing becomes very real. This is where many creators struggle, because growing too fast can sometimes mean losing the authenticity that made people connect with you in the first place. So now the real question is, can she scale her success without losing that personal connection? Because that balance is what separates short-term fame from long-term impact. Another important part of her journey is what it represents for smaller creators. Because let's be honest, most people trying to grow online don't go viral. They don't have millions of followers overnight, and that can feel discouraging. But Melody's story sends a different message. It shows that growth doesn't always have to be fast to be meaningful. Sometimes it's the slow, steady effort, the daily consistency that builds something stronger and more lasting over time. Looking ahead, there are many directions she could take. She might expand her content into more structured formats, create signature series, or collaborate with other creators in the beauty space. There's also the possibility of stepping into brand partnerships or even launching something of her own. These are natural next steps for creators who reach this level. But no matter what direction she chooses, one thing will remain critical: staying connected to her audience in the same authentic way that got her here. Because with growth comes another challenge that often goes unnoticed: burnout. Maintaining consistent live sessions, keeping content fresh, and meeting expectations can be exhausting. And the creators who last long-term are usually the ones who learn how to balance growth with personal well-being. If Melody can manage that balance, continuing to show up without losing herself in the process, it will play a huge role in how far she can go from here. At a broader level, her journey highlights how the creator economy is evolving. Platforms like TikTok Live are no longer just entertainment spaces. They've become ecosystems where consistency, engagement, and data-driven performance define success. What used to be casual live interaction has now turned into a serious pathway for building a career. And Melody's achievement is one of the clearest examples of how powerful that shift has become. So when you look at this moment, it's not just about an award. It's about everything that led up to it: the time, the effort, the consistency, and the connection built along the way. It's about proving that success doesn't always come from one big break. Sometimes it comes from showing up when nothing seems to be happening and trusting that it will eventually lead somewhere. Melody Shari's story isn't just about becoming Creator of the Year, it's about redefining what it takes to get there. And as her journey continues, one thing is clear: this is not the end of her story, it's the start of a much bigger chapter. So now I want to ask you, do you think consistency is the real secret to success? Or does viral fame still matter more? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.